We'll start with the Honorable Yamamoto. Please limit your statement to 5 minutes, but your entire written statement will be entered into the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And again, it's a great honor to appear before this committee with you, Mr. Chairman Marino, and of course, Ranking Member Payne and Madam Bass and Turner and Carnahan, who is here. And our prayers are with Congressman Smith.
Thank you.
And I also ask forgiveness that our Assistant Secretary, Johnny Carson, could not be here today. The DRC, with its immense mineral and water wealth and strategic location, is important to the region, to international investors and countries seeking resources. For the United States, the DRC has a special humanitarian commitment for this country and for its people. The DRC's turbulent history, from outside interference to internal development challenges, have never allowed it to really fully live up to its economic promise and the stability that the people of the Congo richly deserve. The Congo lacks a functioning state authority throughout much of the country, lacks capacity to provide basic services such as healthcare, education, infrastructure, and lacks a fully functioning justice system and bureaucracy. The security forces are frequently undisciplined and ill-equipped and poorly trained and irregularly paid. It is in this context that DRC held its second democratic election since the end of the Mobutu era. In the first election, it was wholly organized and directed by the Congolese. This is really the first election directed by the Congolese themselves since the independence. Unlike 2006, the elections were largely managed by the United Nations and other international donors. The USG found the management and technical execution of these elections to be seriously flawed, lacking transparency, and not on par with the positive gains in the democratic process that we have seen in other recent elections in the region and elsewhere. Secretary of State Clinton noted that we were deeply disappointed that the Electoral Commission's provisional results were affirmed without a full investigation of alleged irregularities, despite opportunities to do so. Mr. Tshisekedi and his supporters went so far as to hold their own swearing-in ceremony and to declare themselves the rightful winner of this elections. Mr. Tshisekedi is virtually in a home surrounded by the police. We have called on due process and judicial procedures to be followed in this case. We also deployed many observers from the U.S. mission and from other areas to 10 provinces throughout the Congo. To coordinate our efforts in the DRC, on December 9th, Secretary Clinton announced the appointment of Ambassador Barry Walkley as our new special advisor for the Great Lakes region and the DRC. We are also concerned about the savage reign of terror by the LRA and the illicit trade in the DRC's natural resources, which denies its people access to its own assets. We currently have approximately $11 million in 2010 funds specifically aimed at increasing the transparency and regulations of the trade in key minerals in eastern DRC. We also recently notified Congress of an additional $4.7 million in 2011 for a complex crisis fund resource that we will apply to promoting traceability monitoring in the regional mineral trade. The DRC and the United States have a solid and positive relationship, and our governments continue to engage at the highest level on a range of issues that are aimed towards democracy, peaceful and stable Congo. So, Mr. Chairman and the honored members of this committee, I look forward to answering your questions today. Thank you.